So excellent news. The Tennessee prosecution case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia just got dropped by the judge because the Trump administration Department of Homeland Security officials are incapable of keeping their trap shut. They're incapable of following a court order, gagging them, stopping them from litigating the case in front of social media. They do that all the time. If you follow me, I'm JJ Legal. I am in the dockets. I monitor the lawsuits filed against the Trump administration and those the Trump administration filed against others. And this is one of the cases I've been following a long time about a man named Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who is a Maryland man who in 2019 had a withholding from removal order, meaning that the judge says that he should not be deported to El Salvador. Not a deportation order, a withholding from deportation order in 2019. And specifically, he shouldn't be sent to El Salvador. And that's precisely where they sent him, an error, according to the Department of Justice lawyers who had to answer when Kilmar Abrego Garcia's family filed a lawsuit on his behalf and said it was an error. So all 9 United States Supreme Court justices said that the Trump administration needs to bring that man back. And so they did in April, but they were so upset by the fact that this guy had to be brought back. And they couldn't stand the fact that he kind of like won over them. So they communicated with attorneys or Department of Justice or officials in Tennessee and made up some case. And you know why I know it's made up? Because they admitted it. During a hearing, they said that, even though this traffic stop happened in 2021 and he was let go for like not having a license, he was transporting coworkers from one job site to the next. They decided in 2025, 4 years later, that we're going to indict him on human smuggling. Yeah. So as you can imagine, that the lawyers for this man was able to successfully meet that high bar that's there when you want to accuse the government of vindictively prosecuting you. So there's going to be a vindictive prosecution hearing later on down the line. However, there was an active hearing regarding this allegation, this indictment that he human smuggled. Now, the Trump administration continued to pop off and say things about him and call him things like a human trafficker, which anyway, really quickly, the distinction between human trafficker and human smuggling is precise. When you human traffic someone, they don't want to go. You take them by force and you put them from one place to the next. Human smugglers actually pay a mule to take them across the border. They want to be sent. So he was charged for human smuggling, not trafficking. Yet, Pam Bondi, who's a lawyer who knows the distinction, Tricia McLaughlin, Kristi Noem, and a lot of Fox News people, hint defamation, said that he's a human trafficker. No evidence whatsoever. He was charged, not convicted, with human trafficking. Yet you have news officials saying he's a human trafficker. The Dollars to Dominion. Those news people go on TV and call him a MS-13 gang member, including Donald Trump. And here's the thing, the rub on that is that there's no proof of that. Since 2017, since man been in this country, there's been no proof. The closest things they've had is a couple of people who've been incentivized, given something in exchange, to say that. One was a crooked cop who got tossed off of the case, just tossed off the force altogether. And the second one was a girl who said she barely knew him. It was all hearsay. Now, what we do know is from Kilmar Abrego Garcia's declaration when he was actually returned in April, that he said the senior prison official at CCOT in El Salvador looked at his tattoos and put him in a place with other people who came that did not have tattoos, indicating he was a gang member. They say, you're clear to go. You'll be in here. He spent his time in CCOT in a cell full of people that are not gang members. They threatened him to throw them in the gang member cells. I trust that the senior prison official at CCOT knows better and to categorize Kilmar as not an MS-13 gang member because MS-13 is a gang that originated in El Salvador. Then I trust the gringos who were tossing Venezuelan men into prison to be tortured for 100 days, saying that they're a member of the Tren de Aragua because of their tattoos, when according to 60 Minutes report this past Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, Venezuelan gangs don't use tattoos as an indicator. They threw somebody in prison because his Facebook picture showed him standing next to a man with tattoos. They threw somebody with no tattoos and accused him of being a gang member because there was a Facebook photo with them standing next to someone. All right, so those people I don't trust. I don't trust this prison official, but I trust the word of the prison official as to who was a gang member and not. So, hello, defamation lawsuits. Greg Bovino is the one who caused all of this because Greg Bovino got so mad that Kilmar Abrego was able to spend the Christmas holidays and is going to spend New Year's with his family, that he went on Newsmax and Fox and called him MS-13, called him a wife beater, and called him a human smuggler. He did all of that in allegedly defiance of the October gag order from Waverly Crenshaw telling the Department of Homeland Security, stop litigating this case. You're going to poison the jury pool. And they have. I am in the comment section of a lot of stories related to this man. And inevitably, the people in the comment section repeat what they hear about him that came directly from those people. They're calling him a human trafficker. He's never been charged with human trafficking. He's never been found guilty. They call him a criminal. He has zero criminal history other than this bogus trial, this accusation, this bogus Tennessee indictment. He has no, and even there, he wasn't found guilty. So he has no criminal record. So there's no basis for calling him a criminal. They continue to call him a criminal. And then they call him scum. They call him a monster. They call him all sorts of stuff, litigating. That's why the judge said, stop doing that. So Kilmar Garcia's lawyers, when they saw Greg Bavino pop off, and by the way, Tricia McLaughlin, she went on X and she called the judge. She called out the judge. She was like calling the judge out his name. Like, I can't say nothing because of judge. You and Greg caused this man's case to be tossed out. Thank you, Tricia McLaughlin. Yeah, Kilmar Garcia's lawyers was like, you have to do some sort of sanctions. Now, here's the sanctions. Your options are civil contempt. You can do, essentially, tell them not the same thing. You can do criminal contempt, throw them in jail, or you can do something like cancel the entire case because the judge said you're tainting the pool because you keep saying this thing. He is not going to be able to get a fair trial if you continue to litigate this. And the lawyers was like, you need to find out who told Greg Bavino to go on TV and say that stuff and who authorized him and did he know about the order? So the judge was like, I don't know. I don't care. Case canceled. Duh. That's what you get. So instead of a January 28th hearing, they're going to be having a vindictive prosecution hearing instead of a trial. And in the vindictive prosecution hearing, the burden of the proof is on the administration, the government, to prove that they didn't vindictively prosecute him. Now, how are they going to be able to prove that when they have a Department of Homeland Security official that said that they only indicted him after April? They had all those, the traffic stop happened in 2021. How are they going to prove that when the two witnesses they have are jailbirds? They flung one who was actually in jail serving a 30-month sentence for actually human smuggling. This guy has snuck in and out of the United States 5 times, so he has no credibility. That's the person that said that Kilmar is a human smuggler. And the other witness is a relative. That relative, the two of them corroborated, and they said he was traveling back and forth for 2,100 hours with his kids, and the magistrate judge who had to decide whether or not to let Kilmar go off on bond or not was like, this don't even make no sense. Ain't no way. It's not credible, human possible. So your testimony don't make any sense. And then the credibility of your two witnesses. Those were the two witnesses. In addition, they're saying that he was a human smuggler of children. But it turns out there was no children. There was one. And there's not even a child because the evidence they had is a body camera footage of the officer who passed around a piece of paper telling people to write down their birth date. One of the piece of paper, it looks like someone changed the 1 to a 7. So if they made it a 7, the person was under 18. The person was born in 2001. They're no longer they're not a child. So somebody, some way, possibly changed 1 to 7. And they don't have the actual officer. They have a snapshot of his body camera footage. And it looks like it was altered. And that officer wasn't even there to testify. And no one in the car was testifying. And this child, to say, I was 16. They didn't even exist. They didn't even have that child testify. Normally, Department of Justice builds a rock hard, solid case before they bring any indictment because they don't want to lose. So normally in any universe, they're not bringing these faulty cases, relying on the word of jailbirds, tampered evidence looked tampered, no corroborating evidence. Not this Department of Justice. They don't care. They're just throwing it together. And when the cases fall apart, they blame the judge. So you're cussing out the judge, Tricia McLaughlin, on Twitter. That's why he canceled the case. Yeah, keep it up. Thank God they're inept. Thank God they're gooders. Thank God they don't have the freaking emotional intelligence to stay off of social media, to coordinate with the Department of Justice, to realize, we have an active case. Is there an order stopping me from doing this? Nope. They're going straight to Twitter. They're going straight to Newsmax and yapping. So thanks, Greg Bavino. Remember, what's his face? Rudy Giuliani lost his house. You can too, Greg. JJ Legal. Each one teach one. Share this video so more people know. Go to my website for. So I'm going to keep you updated on the developments of the case. But for now, the guy is doing pretty well. And if you would like to keep up with me, I invite you to follow this account. If you want to make sure that I can reach you or you can see me, hit that notification bell because the apps are actively suppressing my content. And I have you one better. You can get on my email list. And I have something in exchange for your email. It's called a Trump Survival Guide. In that Trump Survival Guide, you get Know Your Rights cards. Over 14, Know Your Rights at the border. Know your rights when you are protesting. Know your rights relates to your social media use. Know your rights when you're detained by ICE, when you are approached by ICE. Know your rights at the border. Know your rights when you're traveling. Know your rights if you live in a red state. Know your rights as to how to get on class action lawsuits. I have it all for you in those 14 Know Your Rights cards. It also includes scripts. Scripts, if you see someone being detained unlawfully, what to say. Maybe it won't stop them, but we're keeping records for the Nuremberg and the oversight and the civil rights and the criminal referrals later on down the line. And I also have scripts in case you see someone being brutalized, which could possibly save someone's life. There's also case trackers and where you can go see the dockets, access the cases, access the executive orders, read the executive orders, and also where you can get copies of the actual cases so you can follow along with me and be a docket queen. All of this for free in exchange for email because I realized that the social media platforms are suppressing me because the people in my comments are telling me that we don't see your stuff. Like they're not delivering you. I follow you and I've been forced to unfollow you. I don't see your stuff. So that's what I offer for you. Now, if this is a community and user supported account, like I said to people that about a month or so ago, I decided to just do this full time and come to you directly. I had clients, I had an agency, and I was practicing, and I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just here for you. So in order for me to continue to be there, I love that people are able to support me. And if you want to, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have a pinned comment where you can see different ways you can support me, as small as just sending my video out to other people, signing up for a newsletter, which is free, and there's other ways. So you can check those out. And if you're watching this on any other platform outside of YouTube, you can check out the first video that's pinned on my threads, that's pinned on my Instagram, that's pinned on my TikTok. And on Substack, I'll have some other places. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much. This is JJ Legal. I'll keep you updated. I am in the dockets and there's a lot of good news to come. I've been just shouting to the trumpets that I think that we are seeing a break, that there is a pivot with the judges, with the people feeling more empowered, with the just breakdown. The Epstein files is working. Calling the Kavanaugh stops is working. It's getting people to realize, okay, there's another way. The resistance is too strong. We just got to retreat. And we see, oh yeah, Heritage Foundation is crumbling apart. They're like fracturing over it. There's a loose conglomeration of different feelings and of sanctions of people, and they're all over the place, and they're not all aligned, and they conflict all the time. And the one through line, the one connector is Donald Trump. So when he's gone, what happens next? We don't know. We'll see. So us and the resistance, we're unified to kind of suppress and stop them. So JJ Legal, each one teach one. Follow this account. Share this video for other people so they know the good news. And I'll see you in the next video. If you're watching this on Instagram, if you watch this on YouTube, I'll put a link to a playlist where you can continue to learn from me. All right, take care.